Okay, so this is a soft 8, and this is a midline attachable one as opposed to the ones where you see a ring and ring. And this is using a Notch Quickie, a DMM, I'm not sure what model of quick draw sling this is, but it's DMM Quick Draw sling, and then an oval quick link as well. I'm going to use this as a SRT anchor, and one which we can disconnect in the canopy to raise our system a little bit easier. I'm just going to demo this by setting an anchor point slightly lower than I actually need it, getting up into the canopy, and then moving the system up to the right high point, and then heading out and knocking out a couple of bits of deadwood on the back of the tree. So hopefully that helps. With the soft 8, what we're going to do is we're going to install the small ring side on the side which you're not climbing on, and we're going to install the big ring side on the side which you are climbing on. So I'm just going to open this up. And this is a little bit of a squeeze through the quick links, but it's not too bad. And just for reference, this is 11.7mm Donaghy's Cougar Blue. And then obviously we've got this, I don't know, I think this is maybe, I think they call this 3 or 4 action openable, because with this slick pin, it's got multiple locking tabs on it. Now what I'm going to do is, because this is going to choke up onto the limb, we're going to tie an Alpine Butterfly stopper knot. I'm just going to adjust it because it doesn't need to be a massive Alpine Butterfly. And whenever you're not blocking a device, you're going to want to add in an extra carabiner into whatever the loop is. This Petzl Perfecto, so slightly smaller so it stays out the way. Now, on the climbing side, as I pull this up, this is obviously going to raise this up to the limb, and you can see the small side is not blocked. The bigger side is the side I'm going to climb on. There we go, and I've run that all the way up to the anchor point. And just get the rest of the climbing line out of the way. Right, so one of my favourite friction hitches to run on is called a nut. I've just taken 5 wraps downwards with this 10mm eye to eye. And I'm going to pop the hitch climber underneath of it. And I'm not properly clipping it in because I am just going to whack the wrench above it. There we go. And I pop the wrench close to the hitch climber just because I think it all sits a little bit nicer that way around. And I just like inverting my main attachment carabiner because it just feels nicer to clip on and unclip with that. Awesome. And right, let's take a look at the saw. So this is actually an old school full reach, one of which that I would have manufactured from way back in the day. Okay, so I cinch my full reaches from left to right, and it means that my hand carabiner sits close to that side so that I can put that into my tool hook real easy. Right, so the plan is to run up to that high point, so it's not the actual good high point in the tree, and I'm going to show you moving that soft 8 up to the next high point. And what I'll do is I'll stand up in that union and try throw my climbing system up and over and midline attaching that soft 8 because it's got the quick link on there, which is going to be really useful. And I'm just going to run out over those 2 bits of deadwood right over the top of the veggie patch and just get them clear, because obviously high foot traffic area and don't want that hanging over the top of them. Awesome. Oh, I forgot the bloody silky. So I'm not sure if you can see that piece of deadwood. Looks like it's got a load of paper wasps coming in and out of it, so I'm going to try not to annoy those guys, although saying that, a chainsaw up a tree has a habit of annoying them. Okay then, so what I've done is I've thrown a line up here, anchored off with the soft 8, and I'm gonna climb up here and just get my climbing system up to that point over there, just to give me a better high point for heading out and getting rid of the deadwood over the top of that veggie patch. Now, when you look at this system, on one side I've got my knot blocks. I've got my knot block side, and this is the side I'm going to keep hold of. The opposite side is my climbing system. So when I come to remove this, what I'm going to do is put a load of slack into my climbing system and plan where I'm going to go. So I'm going to go up to that high point and I'm going to keep the knot block side with me. So what I'm going to do is, I've obviously lanyarded it in. I'm going to undo this quick link and just slip the rope out of there, and I'll just close it just for good measure. Now I'm just going to keep the climbing line with me by clipping on where the knot block is. So I'm going to keep a hold of that, and now what's going to happen is I'm going to climb up there and I'm going to send my climbing system over whichever union it is that I want. So I'm going to keep a hold of this. Excellent. Clip that onto my carry tool. I'm literally just going to climb up a little way. Awesome. So this actually gets me in quite a good position. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tail, which I've kept a hold of. Sound like the boys are doing some stuff over there. Awesome. I'm going to take this tail and I'm going to pop it over the section of the tree that I want to put my anchor point. So I could go here, could go fractionally higher if I want. Get that throw bag out of there. There we go. Pull this system up and over. And what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try keep all of this internal to my lanyard. And the reason for this is so that if I have to move anywhere, or the rope weight drags it and kind of makes it dangle somewhere further away from me, the lanyard keeps it close by. And now I've got to disconnect the climbing device, and I'm going to flip this, or I'm going to attempt to flip this up and over. So I've now got my climbing device on the correct side. Tidy this section up and you can clip into this now. Now what I'm going to do take my knot block. Now make sure that both sides of your rope touch the ground, otherwise it might be a bit of a pain in the ass to deal with. Clip this on, and this knot block is going to raise up to that point. So now this is a raised climbing system. Take up the slack. Awesome. So looking at what I've got to do, there's a bit of dead wood out on there, out towards the veggie patch, and I've got another piece out there over the top of the veggie patch as well. So I'll quickly run up there and knock those two sections out. And something to be kind of aware of in the tropics is potential for paper wasps in like dead stubs like that. Okay. Okay, so this is one of the pieces of dead wood which was posing a bit of a hazard to people in this section of the garden over the top of the veggie patch. So I'm literally, instead of just spear cutting this off and having it land, I'm going to try to do a bit nicer. I'm going to cut and chuck each piece, break it off, and then just drop it down, just to save any mucking around. Stay clear. Stay clear. Okay. Okay, so that's one piece done. I'm actually not going to disturb these small little stubs like that, and I'm not going to tidy them up. They're obviously acting as habitat, and I also don't want to all of a sudden piss off a load of paper wasps which may or may not be nesting in there, because that would not be a fun day for me, to be honest. Okay, and the next one to head out on is just over there. Now, that one there, I'm not sure if you can see, there's a load of insect activity around it. Those guys are liable to get pissed off at me, so I'm going to try gently make my way past that and out to here, and do my best not to disturb them. But I'm also keeping in mind that if these guys get pissed off, I'm also going to have to get out the tree quite sharpish, so we'll give this a go. Keep my feet well above those guys. So Here is one of the good things about SRT, is the fact that if I plan for these wasps to get pissed off and come out and start stinging me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the tail of my line down here, so I can descend straight down out of the tree without worrying about rope angles, friction or anything like that. Because also I'm going to take this down just this epicormic growth and see if it does anything. But if I've removed this, or if I'm part way through removing it, I can still bail out of the tree at short notice. So I'm going to give this a go, and hopefully those wasps don't get pissed off. That would be nice. Okay, so what I might do is I might scarf this one, you know, like notch it back in this direction. It's dead wood, so I'm going to leave a slightly fatter hinge on this side than on the tail side, and then try pull it round into this clear area over here. Silky. Okay, it doesn't look like the wasps are doing anything more than they were before, which is pretty good news. That's quite a fat hinge, but I also didn't want it breaking off sideways and going down into the veggie patch, so that was handy having the silky just to knock a little bit more off of that back cut. Now I'm not particularly looking forward to this part because I'm starting to get close to where those wasps appear to be going in and out. I don't want to get bothered by them, and to be fair, they don't want me bothering them either. So let's hope that I don't piss them off, because they're literally just there. And I don't want them going up my trouser leg either. Okay. Bailout scenario is straight down. So I'm going to do Okay, now I'm going to gently get away from these wasps. One of the benefits of the Soft 8 that's up there is it does have reduced friction over using other methods, such as like doing a running bowline up there or a running alpine butterfly with rope on rope friction. Because this isn't rope on rope, it reduces the friction by quite a lot. Not as much as obviously running the Pinto redirects that we used to do back in the day, but it definitely helps. So this Flint Locker soft 8, my rope is on the back half of this branch and then it's running back over those limbs over there. So as soon as this gets just below, essentially we're just pulling the rope out. I should have chucked a retrieval ball on it, to be fair, but this will work pretty well. Here we go. Flint Locker out. These are pretty snappy trays, unfortunately. Awesome. And now it's time to put the rope away.